Now is the time.
Forever? Tangent. Hold.
Halt.
Hashtag always MGM.
You are approaching the unloading area.
Calm down. AK haters.
But what if it could? Behold the majesty of the
breeze.
Sistine ceiling.
For the kids.
A salute to all theme parks, but mostly Walt Disney World.
What a cute ending.
Aloha and
Don't Dillo it.
This is Theme Park Thursday with Dillo's Diz. She is Jen.
Hello.
And I am Frank, and we are here at dillosdizresort.com. That's our Patreon, with memberships beginning as low as $1 per month. dillosdizresort.com. You can still join for free as hashtag Dillo's Madness is about to enter its fourth record-breaking month.
It's Dillo's Madness all year long.
It's gonna lead right into that meetup in September. Get ready.
Or the holidays, either one.
Yeah, it's Theme Park Thursday Eve at the resort. It's Wednesday morning, and already this morning we have breaking news.
Extra breaking news.
turn that kid around.
Of course, that extended mix is available at dillosdizresort.com.
Mm-hmm.
Just one of the little nuggets you get by joining our Patreon. The Moana 2 trailer, a minute and a half version. You have a minute and a half. Yeah, on it. Dropped earlier Wednesday morning. Jen, did you watch?
I did.
Yes, thoughts?
Yes. I mean, I'm excited. You know, I feel like Moana speaks to the 8 and 7-year-olds early days, especially the 8-year-old. I mean, I think Moana consumed her in those early days. But so there's some kid nostalgia there for us. So I'm excited for it. I'm looking forward to it. It's still not giving us too much. We're still kind of seeing just shots here and there, but who doesn't love Moana? I mean, we need more Moana.
Yeah, I think they are wise at this point to kind of just tease to the teaser trailer, as it were. It feels like Moana is going out to bring more of us together.
Yeah.
That seems to be the early indication from this teaser trailer. Well, it's not technically. I guess you get the 15-second teaser trailer, and then the 1.5-minute teaser trailer, and then the trailer. I don't know how it works anymore.
I don't know either. Yeah.
Do I understand the movie business anymore? I mean, did I understand it to begin with? Not really. But this pop culture Jeopardy they just announced last week. I'm like, oh, is it time? Is it time? But
here's my question. Let's side tangent there. So there's a pop culture Jeopardy.
Yeah, it's going to be on Paramount Plus, I think.
Do you feel at this stage you could properly participate in pop culture Jeopardy?
I'll take the 90s for 100.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Here are this year's Grammy nominees. Besides Genevieve Goings, who else would you know of those names? The MTV Music Awards were just announced. Here's who's performing.
Yeah. No. I think I at work yesterday, I made a Dua Lipa joke.
Oh, what was it?
No, I just referenced her, and I was happy that I referenced her.
Right.
But I've said it before. I think I've mentioned this on Twitter before that when Dua Lipa appears on screen, I get nervous because I'm like, I don't understand why she's so attractive. I can't look at the screen. I can't do it. I feel like I'm gawking because I'm like, I don't understand.
You have a little crush on Dua Lipa.
I mean, I don't even know if it's a crush, but I feel like she has a look that is magnetic in a way. Oh. And I just saw that they were, she was in the rumor mill for playing Meg in a Hercules live action. I was like, whoa. I can't see that movie.
It's interesting. That's all very interesting.
Yeah,
I don't even know where to go from there about Dua. We have to deep dive into that more, maybe.
because I don't think it's a crush, right? Like
Uh-huh.
it's not like but when I see her, I'm like, I can't. I feel like I can't watch the screen for
Like,
too long
oh,
because it might look like I have a crush.
interesting.
My
This is
TikTok
all very
algorithm
interesting.
just changed. The middle-aged man TikTok algorithm just came back into play.
Dua Lipa will be performing at Fine Frank for 50. That might
Mm.
be true.
I mean,
Um,
again, I couldn't name anything past the Barbie song that she does,
okay.
the Houdini song,
Uh-huh.
right? I,
Uh-huh.
I'm calling it the Houdini song because that's the only word I'm catching in the song.
It's very interesting. Back to Moana for a second.
Yes.
Because somehow, Moana leads to Dua Lipa. Obviously, that's where we go when we discuss breaking news
Mhm.
about Moana. I feel also that for a long time, I really was just anti sequels. I just leave it alone. Moana's a great movie. Leave it alone.
Yeah.
Do
Right.
we need another Moana movie? No. But have I accepted that Disney loves sequels now? And I need to accept it and not fight it. I loved Frozen 2.
Hmm.
Like I need to just get on board. So I do think I was able to look at this teaser-ish trailer with different sets of eyes of I wasn't angry that there was a sequel. I wasn't
Right.
I'm accepting that this is what things are now.
Yeah. I mean, I think when I was younger, again,
Mhm.
there's going to be a theme here today about us getting
Yes.
old.
Uh-huh.
When I was younger, I felt like I was more adverse to just the number two,
Uh-huh.
like something two,
Uh-huh.
like that annoyed me. As someone who grew up on uh, Star Wars,
Yeah.
The Empire Strikes Back, like call it a different title, even
Mm,
even though it's a lesser movie and we all know it. I
yeah.
appreciated Monsters University,
Mhm.
even though
Yes.
it's a prequel, so maybe that's
Yeah.
why you couldn't say 2. Maybe that's why it happened. But I appreciate that, like, we branch out. Even The
Yeah.
Godfather Part 2, I'll accept that.
Right. Uh-huh.
It is the 2 that
Right.
immediately in, perception eyes brings it down a little bit.
Right. No, I get
And
that. Yeah.
I think there's
I get
exceptions. I think Toy Story 2, I don't know, there's a weird thing about it, it's kinda like a I felt okay with that at the time, I remember.
Mhm. Mhm.
But,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm like, can we just say Moana and call it something? I don't know.
Right. The Moana, The Rise of Maui. I'm sure that's not what the story's about, but just something like that. I see. I see. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's where my takeaway is. But yeah, obviously excited for it. And that leads into, we'll get to set the table for that when we visit the Journey of Water at Epcot
Yes. That's right.
later this summer
It's
prior
happening.
to our Disney cruise, which we finally made the pre-bookings for.
That's right.
I
We're
mean,
so ahead of
obviously,
the game.
yeah, that was a couple of weeks ago. That's how far behind we are this month. May is a
Yeah.
crazy month
Yeah.
generally. It's getting crazier. I forgot how crazy the month of May was prior to March of 2020.
Uh-huh.
And then each year since then, it has gone increasingly crazier. And I'm like, oh,
Mhm.
this is what the month of May used to be like.
Right. You're in it now. You're back
I'm
in
in
it.
it.
Yeah, but we did
Completely.
make those plans. We had because last 2 years ago, what is time?
Mhm.
When we were doing the Disney cruise, we did zero planning. We did zero planning. We didn't pay attention to anything. We didn't even know what was happening. And then like a month before, we were like, "Oh, should we like try to do some stuff?" I don't know. This time we had the date. We knew the date. We could do it, and I sent Frank a calendar, and this is the date. We have to go on. Now were some things sold out already? Yeah, yeah, they were, but nothing crazy. We didn't really miss out on anything. However, I did realize because we need to get more into the DCL community, I think. We're
Mhm, mhm,
we're slightly we're like a little bit we have like a foot in it, but we're not like all in it. So I think I also realized that depending on your level, your status
mhm.
of Disney cruise liner that you are, I don't know what it's called. Um you could have been booking ahead of that date that we saw.
What?
So, have you taken like 5 cruises, 10 cruises, and
Oh,
you're a different status? I think you got an earlier date. So
oh.
maybe when we were seeing things that were already like, "Oh my goodness, everyone just maybe that's it. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think that's what's happening there.
We weren't booking that tea party. That's one thing we weren't.
Listen, that tea party. More power to you. You know what? Everyone do your thing, whatever makes you happy. But my goodness, the fact there's just so much opportunity for spending your money, giving your money to Disney, especially, I mean, always, but especially on a Disney cruise. And more power to you if you're doing that tea party. It looks amazing.
Hmm.
And it's not in the budget this year. So, and that's I'm not even going to get into all the details of the logistics, but it's just not in the budget, so we won't be doing that.
Yeah,
What's
I
booked?
mean,
Um,
I put off, Cinderella's royal table all this time. I feel like
yeah.
similar reasons.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Um, Anita saying I'm correct. There is a hierarchy for booking things for repeat Disney cruisers, which we are. This is my third. It's Frank's second. Mom and Papa Dillo's second. However,
They're third, right?
what?
No, oh, they're third. They went on one. Right.
They're third. My third. Your second.
Right.
Right? Yeah.
Yes.
But I think you have to probably be a little higher than that. What's booked for the cruise? Ryan is asking.
Well, Jen will be doing a wine tasting with Mama Dillo and Mrs. Dillo.
Mm-hmm.
I will be doing a whiskey tasting in theory with Mr. Snidillo.
Yeah.
All the whiskey tastings at 9:30 at night. I'm like,
Yeah. I mean,
I mean,
we're out at 9:30 at night, hopping in the clubs or the pub. Either way,
the
we're
pub. I don't
that's
want
our pub. That's our club.
I don't know which trivia will be at night. That's what I don't
Mhm.
know.
Yeah, true.
No, I can't. It's too much anxiety for I can't replicate the trivia wins. I can't.
I know, but the pressure's on. You must do it. You did
No.
it once.
We
You
must
have
do
to
the
do it again.
exact same thing we did
It has
before.
to
You
go
have
the
to win
same
the
way.
trivia.
We got Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique again for the girls. The 9, almost 10-year-old.
Ooh, almost.
Has like a goofy sports thing he's gonna do. I don't. It's like a virtual sports thing. I don't know. I'm trying to think what. Oh, we have Apollo brunch for all
Yeah.
the adults,
Apollo
which I'm
brunch.
excited about. I think that's it. So I think that's it.
Oh, a mixology class. Yeah, I looked at that, and maybe I'll look to see if it's still there. I know I breezed through it, and I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah. I did join the Facebook group for our cruise. I got in on that like 2 days ago, because you
Okay.
can join the specific sailing group.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and this isn't in offense to anyone. That's just what I do when I join groups on Facebook. I just join them and then I lurk. I don't really participate.
Yeah, God forbid anybody knows Dillo's Diz is going to be on their cruise.
Right? I can't be promoting such things. Speaking of, we got to get our magnets ready and all of our friends' magnets ready so we can have a nice decorated door because we'll be right next to each other again.
Yeah, we have to discuss. We talked about maybe doing like a magnet exchange all summer long. We thought Dillo's madness would be over, and that would lead into a magnet exchange all summer because our friend DCL Cruising Dad,
yes,
provided us with a magnet recently in our PO box. So thank you very much for that. That I was like, oh, maybe we need like to do a whole thing. And make it a thing all summer where we just send out magnets and get magnets in return.
Yeah.
It's on the list.
It's on the list. We'll get there. We do think we might be in the exact same rooms or we might be like swapping rooms from the cruise 2 years ago. So
yeah, I mean, I think the toughest part about the magnet situation is where our rooms are located because blame Frank, #blame Frank. Frank needs interior rooms. So where we are, it doesn't get a whole lot of foot traffic.
Uh-huh.
I'll say that 3 times fast. So sometimes I'm like, all right, are we going to go crazy when there's like 5 rooms where we are?
Yeah. Well, I do feel a lot of the cast members walk by.
That's true.
So, they'll all hear about it. We can pass them out. What, on the cruise? That sounds like promotion, Ryan. I don't know.
Jen's gonna be promoting heavy on the Disney cruise
I
this
will
time
not.
around.
Lexi thinks that we can suggest a fun pod without revealing it's our that's promotion. Lexi, again, we're promoting the pod. Anyway,
I mean, maybe we'll record a pod on the cruise.
I think we said that last time too. We recorded 0 content with us, unless we put content together, but we didn't
Yes,
record
we
anything.
didn't record anything. Why would we do that?
Yeah.
That
Oh,
doesn't make any
Nate
sense.
is putting the status levels of the Disney cruise. 1 prior cruise makes us a silver member. 5 is gold and 25 is pearl.
It's gonna be a long time before I reach that gold level. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
I didn't think I'd get 2 under my belt, quite honestly.
Right. And here we are.
So yeah, that's the thing. So yeah, the cruise, those extras are booked. That of course leads up. That's August. That leads up into our meetup in September with our not so scary Halloween party on Friday the 13th of September. We still are trying to flesh out the rest of the plans for the weekend. We only have a one-way plane ticket.
Right. We might just be moving in.
Yeah. But the not so scary Halloween party is the thing right now, and we'll provide more details as we go. Of course, the other big thing, and we'll talk a little bit more as it fits the theme this week of us getting old. But my Universal Studios trip is also imminent.
That's
So,
right.
it's a coming. It's a happening soon.
Yeah, it like super soon.
Super soon.
And which reminds me that the last time the 8-year-old slept over, I recorded some things
Oh yeah.
regarding that
Oh,
upcoming trip.
we
And
might need to
so
drop.
I think we might need to drop that in.
Yeah, maybe we want to do it as an extra for like at post credits
Maybe a
of this,
post credits on this podcast will
so
be
that everyone watching here at the resort can then download the episode in the audio feed.
right.
And to say just quickly about my upcoming Universal only trip,
Yes.
because a lot of things have been happening this past week, and I'm going to breeze through them real quick.
Yeah.
But the DreamWorks Land area is now in official soft open mode at Universal Studios. Went through the previews, the pass holders, the whole thing, and now it's officially soft open
Yeah.
until June 14th, which means I'll get to see it. I had concerns that I would not get to see it. And then I was mentioning that to Mrs. Dillo last night, and I was like, oh, the DreamWorks, the Trolls area and Shrek. And I was like, that area is now like in a preview until June 14th. She's like, stay on the point. This is a Harry Potter based trip. Do not distract our child from the focus, which is Harry Potter related. I was like, okay,
that's fine.
if it happens, it happens.
If she happens to see some troll stuff, she may go that way. I don't know.
We have to. Which path do we take to get to Diagon Alley? It's fine. But I was like, okay. I'm staying on point.
Right. Staying on track. However, have you seen the drones at Disney Springs? No, it's fine. It's fine.
Which also opened this past week. Jen, have you seen video of
I have seen video.
Dreams that soar that come true for you and you?
For you and me and everybody. I have seen video. Have I seen more video and photos of the crowds? Yes. But I have also seen some video of what's happening down there.
Yeah, I've seen it too. I was like, do I want to watch? Do I not want to watch? Do I want to just see it in person first? When am I seeing it in person? I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think because technically for our meetup in September, it's supposedly gonna be done by then. I think it's so I unless it extends.
Is that because they have to start decorating Disney Springs with the Osborne family Christmas lights? Because this was just to see if this would bring in crowds, and so they were testing it out. And
I mean, I think again, as we think everything related is a plan, is a conspiracy theory, is what does this really mean? Yeah, I agree. I think we're getting a holiday drone show. 100%.
Yeah. That's interesting. Lexi saying ends 9/2. However, August, maybe.
August. You have a chance to
Maybe.
see it in August. So yeah,
Interesting.
maybe I won't push it for the Universal trip. All right, we gotta get the
Mhm.
Uber to go to Disney Springs. And no, I'll
Yeah.
get in trouble. I don't think that's
Yes.
gonna happen. But those are two things that popped up this past week. The drone show, dreams that soar and come
Mhm.
true for you and me, and baby makes three. I don't know what they're saying, but
Yeah.
and the DreamWorks soft open. But additionally, a lot of talk about the DAS pass.
Yes.
That I still we had Dr. Jacqueline on last month when it was first announced. Maybe it was 2 months ago now. What is time?
Mhm.
And so I'm still reading up on it enough to like I'm not jumping into the conversation until I know more. Uh,
Yeah.
I yeah, go ahead, Jen. You first.
No, I would say the same. I think, much like anything change related, and you know how we handle change with Disney, but anything change related nowadays, is going to receive every opinion possible and also everyone's experience, because I have seen people sharing their experiences on the good side and the bad side. And
Mhm.
it's all very interesting. I think from what I see, I'm sure there's some kinks to work out. And I'm sure that will happen over time. I will probably be going through the process so I can
Mhm.
provide my firsthand experience
Mhm.
when that time comes. So I think I also feel like I want things to settle a little bit as they work through all the things, because we have mentioned in the past that it comes down to training for a lot of cast members. I think bringing in a third party is also something new. There's a lot happening at once.
Mhm.
There's also weeding out people who shouldn't have been using it to begin with. There's just so many factors,
Yep.
and so many specifications and what's included and what's not included. I feel like things need to get ironed out a little better. Disney needs to make some tweaks, uh, and guests need their accommodations met. I mean, first of all, if you need an accommodation, you need an accommodation. So,
Mhm.
and I want to believe that Disney will work with, you know, with those accommodations. But we will see how things go over time. Right now, I feel like it's the time, which
Yep.
Disney experiences for everything they do, and
Mhm.
much like other companies. But, so I kind of would love to see when it starts settling a little bit and how things are going. I mean, day one out of the gate, you saw everything. So let's see what's happening over time.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned in our $1 one channel world renowned Discord
Yes.
associated with DillowsDizResort.com. I mean, to me, it's a training thing for cast members. Like
Mhm.
the idea that you're going to get the same exact response from every single cast member at every single attraction uh, across the board. While you wish that would be the case, even
Mhm.
if you had the proper training, you took the time, everyone went through it, everyone had to sign off on it for
Yeah.
the thousands of cast members involved. Yeah, it would been nice in these last 6 weeks. I don't know what the deal is. Maybe there was,
Mhm.
but even then, the idea that every single cast member will have the exact same, and you're not going to want a robotic response. Keep
Mhm.
in
Right.
mind, you just don't want them regurgitating the language that was taught.
Right.
Uh, I to me, that is the great difficulty right now is the training behind it. And I suggested in the Discord that in the month of May you had all these college program kids come in. You got a
Mhm.
new wave for the summer.
Yep.
What better way to initiate them is by, you know what, we're going to give you this training, and this is where you're going to be right now. is
Right.
is handling this portion of it. First of all, I think it's a great life skill because obviously this has grown exponentially, and we're all getting educated as we
Mhm.
go on about
Yes.
all the services available, everything that's possible.
Mhm.
The why behind things. But I think in some ways, if college program is going through traditions, then why not have that be part of their initial training so
Yes.
that they have something they could grab, they can have a strong part in it right away.
Yeah. Mhm.
It empowers them in that way. That would have been where I would go on it, and who
Mhm.
knows, maybe that's what's happening. I do not know,
Right.
but yeah, until the dust settles,
Mhm.
it would have been nice to think that everything would have been ready in a reasonable way from
Sure.
the get-go.
Yeah.
I don't think that's reasonable
Yeah.
in this
Yeah.
day and age. It's
Exactly.
hard.
Yeah.
And
Agreed.
then the other big talk of the town this week that we won't get into too much is the 4-hour Galactic Star Cruiser
No. Yeah.
experience on
Yeah.
YouTube from
Mhm.
Jenny Nicholson. I have not watched any of it. Jen has not watched any
Any
of
of
it.
it. Mhm.
Will we at some, as you can see behind Jen's recording studio here, she is packing her life away. Is she moving? No, but sort of.
Sort
Uh,
of.
sort of.
Kinda. More content to come.
So she's been doing a lot over there. I've been at work a lot. No time for 4 hours.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but will we at some point? Sure. Uh, again, I'm in conspiracy theory land. I think she has some kind of inside baseball that
Mm.
this is developing. She's jumping onto a bandwagon of announcements to come.
Yeah.
That's my speculation, and not based in anything other than a tease that she gave at the end, a dining experience, perhaps.
Mhm.
And I think that's a logical jump, but has caused, as we love with Disney, with Star Wars, as I love with professional wrestling,
Mhm.
a division.
Yeah.
There's people with feelings and emotions.
What? And for what? I don't understand. That never happens.
And all of it is things that we've talked about over the years. I mean,
Mhm.
since they announced it, since they announced the price point, since people have experienced it.
Mhm.
But until last week, I didn't know a single person who had a bad experience.
Yep.
Um, and now I can't tell the difference of who just wants to have a bad experience but didn't really go, but they're
Yeah.
saying they had a bad experience. And uh, there's a lot of chit chat out there.
Yeah. And like everything, as I was just saying, there's a lot of all the feelings on all the sides. Everybody's in it. Yeah. I can't speak to it too much though, since
No,
I haven't seen it. So
no,
yeah. Mhm.
maybe eventually, maybe since I think most of the people here at the resort right now have already
Yeah.
watched.
Yeah.
Uh, Maybe one day Jen and I will have 4 hours that we'll sit down and talk while we watch,
Yeah.
and everyone at the resort can join along,
Yeah.
and
Do a live
that way
watch.
everyone doesn't have to like fully invest in it. They can comment along the way, and
Yeah.
we'll talk it through as we're watching.
Yeah.
Maybe
Speaking
that's
of
something.
watching, how's that Wish viewing going? Still no.
Not going
Still
well.
still
Last week, the 8-year-old had a field day. Like a not a field, not like field day, not a field day as we like to say on Long Island. It's having a field day out there doing whatever.
Oh, I see.
An actual school field day
Uh-huh.
that was rained out, and then they all watched Wish, and I was like, this is what happened the first time. Is that she went on a field trip? I never got to see it in the movie theater, and now
Yep.
she's watching it again. So she's like, well, I don't want to watch it right now.
Yeah. Right.
More Bluey episodes.
Yeah. Bring on Bluey. I haven't seen that episode enough.
And just to say that from Christmas until February, end of February, we were on a
Uh-huh.
Muppet Babies
Uh-huh.
revisit. Like that was constant. And
Yeah.
then it went Alice's Adventures in Bakery Wonderland,
Oh,
whatever that
yes.
show
Uh-huh.
is, for
Yes.
a couple of months. And now, I think ever since this 28-minute Bluey, now it's
Uh-huh.
been which makes me happy because I'm always afraid when she doesn't watch Bluey for a while. I'm like, oh, Bluey's over. It's
Yeah.
over. No more Bluey.
It's always there. Yeah, we did a Vampirina resurgence
Hmm.
during one of the breaks, I think. I don't know if it was spring break or winter break, but where it was like all the Vampirinas. I was like, oh my goodness, this is back. But then it's like
Mhm.
we go through it and then we're done. That's all. That's all.
Yeah.
Um uh before we get into all the big topics,
Mm.
have you gone through your list of minor topics?
I have. Well, I see Ryan here real quick saying, "Will that Galactic
Mm.
Star Cruiser announcement come with along the lines of the Big Thunder Mountain, beyond Big Thunder Mountain, whatever we're saying to that?" Listen, I
Sure.
think the big three things you're getting at D23: beyond Big Thunder Mountain, Animal Kingdom, Dino Land, and maybe the Star Cruiser. Maybe
Mhm.
that would be
Maybe.
my big three Walt Disney World based announce.
Right.
But
Yeah.
you have another little topic you want to talk about
Oh,
here?
I just had two things, but I didn't, they're just random as this episode is, just random
Yes,
topics so
yes.
far.
Hmm.
Um One is that the 7-year-old for the last 2 days of commuting to school has been requesting to listen to the Dillo's Diz podcast. That's
Mm.
right, everyone. We have made it. We are being requested. So obviously, the latest episode is with Genevieve. So what a perfect one to jump into.
Hmm.
And so she's listening today and hears you say, started talking about the 8-year-old and how she was in a production of Newsies, and I was crying, and she was like, "What? You weren't crying?" I was like, "Yes, I was teary. I was teary." Like, and she's like, "What? How dare Uncle Frankie tell everyone that? So now everyone can hear that you were crying. How dare he?" I was like, "It's okay, and I'm okay with it. It's okay. I will admit it to anyone, so I'm okay with that."
If we're gonna
Um,
tell anyone, we're gonna tell Genevieve.
we're telling Genevieve Goings. It's no biggie. Whatever. While we were live on YouTube. So that was really funny. But the other thing was, oh, Ryan wants to clarify his comment, by the way, because Lexi mentioned that maybe you'll watch Wish after I watch all the Avengers. And Ryan was saying, so before or after whatever's built beyond Big Thunder. And he's talking about watching the Marvel
Yeah,
movies for me. Is
yeah.
that coming before or after that announcement?
Jen is never
um,
getting to those Marvel movies. No way.
it's not looking great. The other thing, it's non-Disney related technically, but I would like to recommend the movie If. I would just like to
Uh-huh.
recommend that
Hmm.
for everyone.
Yes.
Um, the kids put it top of their list. They have asked to go see it again in the
Mm.
theater. Um, although I was teary with the 8-year-old on stage, um, tears were coming down my face during If that I had to wipe. And I started to think, if slash imaginary friend. So, you already have a little clue in the title there. Obviously, we've talked about Inside Out before and how I cry with
Hmm.
Bing Bong. Is there something to me with imaginary friends? Is there something hidden inside that something with imaginary friends gets me and I cry and I like can't handle the emotion. So, I'm exploring that with
Hmm.
myself and just trying to figure that out. But
And your TikTok algorithm. Yeah.
yeah, I did notice because I went to the X to the Twitter. I don't know why I did this to myself afterwards to see what the people were saying about it because
Hmm.
I really wasn't paying attention prior to seeing it. I saw this now 2 weeks ago. And I can't. Like, why am I doing that to myself? Why am I seeing the comments all over the board? Stop. Just go see it. Enjoy the movie. God, I really enjoyed it and I recommend it to anyone. So that's that.
We're driving the other day, and the 8-year-old clearly sees a billboard that I do not see, and she
Uh-huh.
says, "So I didn't know what she was talking about initially." And she was like, "Do you know what IF stands for?" And I was like, "What is she talking about? Like the Janet Jackson song?" And I was like,
Uh-huh.
and I was like, "No." And she was like, "Imaginary friend." And I had not thought of that at all while this movie was being promoted. Like it didn't even
Uh-huh.
cross my mind. I know what the movie is about. I
Yeah.
like all the things. I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh."
Hmm. Hmm.
So interesting for you with the yeah, because Bing Bong is I never understood your thing with Bing Bong.
I can't
I
even
don't
talk about that scene. I can't talk about the one scene without like getting choked up. And if I may, if if you've listened to the podcast for years, you may have heard, and if you watched the Lenny Burroughs documentary, you may have heard that I thought there were imaginary guys in the basement trying to kill me. It's fine. It's not a big deal. But they were called Lenny and the Smart Guy. And so if I think back to my imaginary friends, quote unquote, I had imaginary children, which were named after kids on Days of Our Lives, obviously. And I also had imaginary guys trying to kill me. So it's not as though I had this great imaginary friend, and maybe that's it. Maybe it's because what I really wanted was a really great imaginary friend, and instead I had imaginary kids to take care of and imaginary guys trying to kill me. I'm not really sure. So
That's why you don't show your kids soap operas, everyone out there. That's the lesson to be learned there.
Anyway, go see the movie, everybody.
Well, and then Inside Out 2 is in like 3 weeks or 2 weeks.
Yep.
2 weeks, I think. 2 weeks from this weekend.
Yes. Very exciting. Will you see it?
Yeah, but the 8-year-old was watching Inside Out yesterday on Disney Plus when I was at work. So
doesn't she know you need to rewatch that? I
think she knows how I feel about it. So she knows that this is a frightening concept that Nate just dropped here. We're all friends, imaginary friends. That's why she doesn't promote the show. It is a delusion. Listen.
Nate. That might mess me up for the rest of the day. Thanks, Nate.
When Jen takes off the simulator at the end of her life, that's when she'll realize everything was imaginary the whole time.
Oh, man, I'll be writing the movie later today.
Well, we had a sort of kind of topic or subject this week that we'll probably only spend 10 minutes on here. Yeah. But this week, the week of May 27th, where there's big anniversaries to discuss. On May 28th, both Islands of Adventure turned 25 and the Wilderness Lodge turned 30. Yep. And on June 1st, Typhoon Lagoon turns 35. Also, like what is happening?
What is time?
So Islands of Adventure, we've been talking about Islands of Adventure for now the last month or so as we lead up until my Universal trip. Jen, how many times total in the past 25 years can you count on one hand the amount of times you have been to Islands of Adventure?
Yeah. One, maybe 3. Well, how many times do you think I was there when you worked there?
I only can think of the one, but maybe because you weren't there when Mama and Papa Dillo visited for the first time
with the Unlucky Penny.
With with the weekend of the Unlucky Penny, which was a Memorial Day weekend in 1999. That exact date was May 22nd that Mama and Papa Dillo were there.
Oh wow. So I'm gonna say 3.
Yeah,
maybe.
The first time, right? You when I took you around, you almost passed out. You said, right? Is that the day, or is that a separate time?
No, maybe 4. No, so that might be separate. Did I almost pass out twice? There. Oh, when you took me around, did I bring friends on that one, or is that separate?
With you.
So then I think. So that's the time I almost passed out. Yeah, online. And that's the day I learned about the trick that if you put like a whip of Brutal or water on like your wrist, the inside of your wrist or the back of your neck, that can help. So that was that time. Yeah. What was that ride? That was that Dudley's?
Well, that was at the time you almost hit your head on the side of Dudley Do-Right Ripsaw Falls.
Maybe that was a separate time. I don't know. I haven't had great experiences there. No wonder I haven't been.
The drop of Dudley Do-Right's Ripsaw Falls was so harsh for Jen, who weighed 72 pounds at that point, that as an 18-year-old. Weighed 72. No, I don't want to get letters or emails. I don't think she weighed 72 pounds. I'm not sure, but she was light.
Yeah,
and that drop can be rough.
Yeah,
and so because it does a thing and then it like takes off again up that little. So did you used to hold? I don't know if it's still the case, and I was on it 2 years ago, but used to hold on to the rails inside the boat
Yeah.
Did you hit your head on the metal rail on the side of the boat or just the side of the boat?
I feel like just the side of the like, I probably, like, got knocked in. I'm doing we'll have to make this a TikTok as I get knocked in to I think the side
Yeah, 'cause
probably.
you did like one of the like because you did your usual thing when you're like, like I'm
Yeah.
screaming on the drop,
Of
like you do on
course.
Splash Mountain photos.
Yeah,
So you're already kind of like to the side because you were like,
right.
I don't wanna go face
But I
forward
don't
into
think I,
this.
like, went down and, like, hit I don't think I did that. I feel like I would have gotten knocked out if I did that. But I was known, Splash, that ride, Tower of Terror, like, I come out of my seat on most rides
Right.
which is why I am typically sitting next to Papadillo on a lot of rides because he would hold me down and just make sure especially on Splash Mountain, there came a point where I finally started moving away from sitting next to him, but he used to, like, hold me down on that ride. Yeah.
But it's noted for me if the 8-year-old chooses to go on this ride, which I'm sure she will, because
Yeah.
she loves the log flumes.
Uh-huh.
That I will probably have to do one of those,
Yeah,
one of
right,
those movements,
right,
Papadillo
mhm.
move for
Yeah. Yes.
uh, Miss Miss Little Thing that
Yeah.
she is.
Yes. Wearing my communion dress, perfect.
I know you didn't go on Hulk because you don't go on upside down
No,
things. You
no,
didn't go on Dueling Dragons back
no,
then. You had to do you went on Jurassic Park, right? The river, the boat, you had to drop.
I guess so.
Spider-Man, do you remember Spider-Man?
Yeah,
Yeah. I'm trying to think what else you could have possibly did you do Poseidon's Fury when they had the tunnel, the vortex water tunnel, you walk through the tunnel and you
hmm,
go to this like kind of show with a lot of special effects.
maybe?
Mhm. Uh, Cat in the Hat, did you do that one?
I don't think so.
What did you do that day? I would think I got you on Spider-Man as a VIP resort guide that you should
Oh,
be doing.
okay, yeah. I don't know, yeah, it's all very I don't know, it predated the mid-2000s, but I don't remember it very well,
Yeah.
so
So I'm looking forward to capturing uh content and then testing Jen. Jen, do you remember this from 25 years ago?
no.
No, what is that? Where is it?
Yeah. I mean, when I see videos around Universal, I'm always like, "Do I know what that is? I don't think I do." Um, yeah, there's, like, specific like, o I almost feel like walking into, like, City Walk is, like,
Yeah,
more of a memory, like, just that area is more of a
right.
memory than a lot of other things, but and then I think probably from seeing more older pictures from, like, our very first trip to Universal, when I see some of those, I'm like, "I remember that a little bit," but yeah, I don't know.
Which City Walk also officially opened 25 years
Oh,
ago
yeah.
this
Mhm.
week as well.
Although my last trip, to the park was in the mid-2000s, so that trip I really
In
don't
the mid
remember.
2000s,
Not the
when we
Forerunner.
went to and we went on The Mummy for the first time in 2004, I think that was
Uh-huh.
when you were interning, because that was the summer The Mummy opened. Did we do both parks then? That I don't remember. I remember being in the main park. I don't remember going over to the other park, and I
Um,
don't know if I could still sneak in at that point.
yeah, I don't know.
That's the other thing I do not remember on
Yeah.
our, when we always are searching for our photo from The Mummy.
Right, which I just came across in the packing up of things, from my attic. I came across that photo again. I was like, "Oh, here it is. I'm gonna see it all the time now."
Also on the 28th of May, Wilderness Lodge opened in 1994. There is a video on our YouTube channel of Jen introducing the fam to the Wilderness Lodge where she was all of 12.
Yeah,
Uh,
and Mama and Papa Dillo are my age. That's fine.
Ooh, and you haven't stayed, right?
No,
I have never stayed. Have Mama and Papa Dillo stayed? I don't think so.
I don't know. They're talking to us recently about their secret trip to the Contemporary, so I don't know now.
Yeah.
I kinda I know they've talked about it a lot that there may have been like a weekend trip they did. I don't
Mhm.
know. I've looked at it a lot. I've considered it a lot, especially when looking at deluxe resorts sometimes because sometimes you get it for a better price. But I still haven't. It's like it's on the list though.
Yeah, it's on the list, and it's probably one. I think anything with a lodge at this point is going to be how I'm gonna get Mrs. Dillo to go back. I think
Mhm.
AK Lounge and Wilderness Lounge would still
Yeah.
be 2 I would need to check off the list of I've never stayed but want to
Yeah.
go. And Wilderness Lodge, I mean, it just comes down to something that bothers me about the lack of transportation. Like, it's bus or boat to the kingdom, and then the but like, there's just something weird to me of it being that far off, not that far, but far enough off a path to a park that I don't know. And I didn't have a problem with Wilderness Lodge, with Fort Wilderness when we stayed there 100 years ago in 1988. But there is something a little bit about like, why is it that, it's the same as Port Orleans and French Quarter and Riverside, both that have always been like, it's a little too far off for me there.
Yeah, because they're all kind of Magic Kingdom-y resort
Yeah.
areas, but they're not on the monorail line, and then anything not on the monorail line, probably especially for us, where we went from our childhood of, like, the Polynesian and the beach club of
Yeah.
being just so connected to the parks, those do always seem like off the beaten path a little bit.
Hmm.
But,
Um,
like, I will say that, like, French Quarter and Riverside, I would totally do at some point. I've
yeah.
kinda moved away at some point from the moderate resorts just
Yeah.
because I started to feel like I don't know that the rooms themselves specifically provided that much of an upgrade from, like, the values
Hmm.
to warrant staying there sometimes when I'm like, comparing pricing and I really want to be in a deluxe resort, but um, the Disney math ain't mathin' sometimes. So, but I do sometimes look at that going, that's kind of a good deal. Maybe we'll do that. I don't know.
Yeah, the Mrs. Dilla also mentioned to me recently that Art of Animation is on her list, and I was like, okay. And speaking of moderate resorts, so
Well, is Art of Animation considered moderate now?
isn't it?
I think it might still be in the value category, even though it's so expensive because
It
usually all the suites are available.
the price, yeah. I guess that's what it is. Is that anytime I look it up, it doesn't look like value prices because of what's available. That's
Yeah.
fair.
Well, and Mrs. Dillo, I feel like likes the Disney hotels, but prefers more of a theme when you're in Disney, right?
Yeah, which is bizarre.
Yeah. Right. But Art of Animation, for that reason,
Yeah.
these movies have thrown up in the rooms. So
Hmm.
she will feel immersed in a Disney theme in those rooms for
Yeah,
sure.
because even All-Star Movies, inside the room, she wanted more theming
Yeah.
than she did, even though it had a Disney vibe, and
Uh-huh.
I thought that might be a good in between,
Yeah.
because that's the thing. She walks a very fine line with kitsch,
Uh-huh. Yes.
and which fine.
Although
Um,
she'll argue that, I think, a little bit.
she will, but we have 2 different definitions of
I'm
kitsch.
just here to give her a little bit of a voice in this.
I Yeah, I don't know. It's a funny, and we revisit it all the time.
Yeah.
If we have lots of arguments
Yeah.
about Nathan Lane, and as we just finished Only Murders in the
Mhm.
Building, that which he thinks is Nathan Lane's best work, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Come on! I mean, he's very good in it, but he's always very good.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, I digress. Yeah, but with Art of Animation, yeah, that might be with the room theming being a little bit better. Maybe she would be in for that.
Yeah.
But Wilderness Lodge definitely on the list. It is still value. Thank you, Lexi, for that
Mhm.
confirmation. Yeah, I think probably every time I check, it is only with suites
Yeah.
available.
It's hard to see. I rarely see like a regular room
Yeah,
available.
no, that's
It's
interesting.
crazy.
But yeah, Wilderness Lodge and AK Lodge are probably my 2 upper
Mhm.
echelon hotels to check off.
Now here's a question with AK Lodge. Would you stay at AK Lodge without the Savannah view?
No, I would need the Savannah View, I think.
Right. That's how I feel. I feel like if I'm going, because it's just so far away, even though so are the all-star resorts, but if I'm going, I want the Savannah view. Like that, like if I'm staying there, because I'm probably only gonna stay there once whenever I do it,
Yeah.
probably. And that's everyone bring this up when one day it becomes my favorite resort and I stay there all the time. But I want the Savannah view for that experience.
Yeah. I mean, even just to wrap up the Mrs. Dillo, when we say it's a Polynesian, now it's 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Back then, I think that was pre-Moana updates, that she wanted more Disney even in those rooms, which
Yeah.
I was like, "What? Really? Okay."
But see, and that's I think what's hard and maybe for us, like I get it. I get that point of view.
Mhm,
I think for us as we were growing up, the
mhm.
hotels had their own theme.
Yeah.
And so when we see Disney being put into something like the Polynesian, the Beach Club, even the Contemporary, it's
Yep.
kind of hard because
Yep.
it's like these hotels had their own theme. They didn't need Disney stuff in it. And now everything's got a little bit of Disney.
Yeah, that is when we get our IP heckles up more than what
Yeah.
comes into the park. Like,
Mhm.
Frozen in Norway, we were like, "Okay,"
Right.
like, we get it.
Mhm.
But with the resorts, yeah, I agree, and that's because we just didn't go go anywhere else. Where
Yeah.
Miss Dillo, she went to Hawaii when she was young.
Yeah.
She went to beach locations all the time and stayed on the beach and beach towns, and so
Mhm.
she's seen that stuff.
Yeah.
She doesn't need a recreation.
Right.
She wants Disney.
Right. We only went to Disney. We need the recreation. Thank you.
Yeah, we didn't go anywhere. Is there a Villaroma resort on Disney property?
Right.
Uh, The last one is Typhoon Lagoon, which opened June 1st. We've talked about this briefly. It's been a long time since we've been to a water park.
Mhm.
It has been we told the story of Jen's friend's father as part of hashtag Dillo's Madness, running through a rainstorm to recover his fanny pack, which is one of my all-time favorites,
Yes.
but did not advance in Dillo's Madness.
Yeah.
And now I think what's funny about all the news we discuss and all the things that go on, lost in the shuffle, is next year to compete with Epic Universe. If you book a stay, right,
Mhm.
it's not just it's just not deluxe, right? It's all. Is it all?
I think it's all, but I think it's for I was just discussing this with Jeffers actually recently. I think it's only the first day you check in though.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the check-in day. So if you
Mhm.
land early, you can go to the park, and then you can or whatever.
Yeah.
That you get free access to Typhoon Lagoon or Blizzard.
Mhm.
So, question in 2025, Jen, if you book a Walt Disney World resort stay after all this is going on behind you right now on your
Right.
screen, uh,
Listen, I still want one in 2024, so we'll see what happens.
uh, do you see yourself next year doing that first day in Typhoon Lagoon? Well, one of the parks, and which one would you pick? Would you pick Typhoon
Eh,
Lagoon over Blizzard Beach?
I would probably go Blizzard over Typhoon.
Oh, okay.
But I feel like I think that would be a possibility because I feel like it's like, why not? If this is how it's gonna get me there, probably. I
Yeah.
would think. Lexi, we will not be going to Splish Splash.
Splish
You,
Splash still around out
yeah,
on exit 72 out there on
I think so.
LIE?
I
It
think it
is.
is.
It's still there.
Yeah, Lexi, you should have chosen that for Frank's
Yeah.
thing that he still owes you anyway.
I
So
was just talking about zip lining yesterday, and someone was like, "Where can you go zip lining?" And I was like, I still have to go to this place out Long Island. I promised somebody I would go to.
yeah,
So,
it's all resorts for our only check-in day. Yeah, so I feel like you would pick Typhoon over Blizzard Beach.
you know, do I think Blizzard Beach is the better water park?
Mhm.
Probably.
Mhm.
And again, haven't been in a very long time, but I feel like you have a greater chance of burning yourself red in Blizzard Beach
Interesting.
than in Typhoon Lagoon has that jungle feel.
Uh-huh.
So I feel like there's more shade. There's more shade at Typhoon Lagoon than Blizzard Beach, but maybe the foliage has grown in 25 years at Blizzard Beach.
Maybe.
Maybe. And there's that.
I Let's go back to Mrs. Dillo for a second.
Mhm.
Thinking that she would probably prefer the theming of Blizzard Beach more, but would she? Because going back to how she's been to other places, she's also from upstate New York, where does she need to go to a ski resort for
No,
a water park? She
no,
probably doesn't. So
no.
that's interesting.
No,
Yeah.
I would pick Typhoon Lagoon just because I feel like they added a couple extra things. So that I think I
Mhm.
would go there first
Yeah. That's
next year.
interesting.
And just to tie this back around to Islands of Adventure, at what point, Jen, do you see yourself ever getting back to Universal? Obviously, I think it would be after Epic Universe
Yeah,
opens. Yeah.
I think so.
And how many days can you put in while in Central Florida at Universal?
Oh man, that's tough.
Would you just do
You
one
do
park
like
each day?
one epic and one I don't
Yeah,
know.
you don't need to go to Islands of Adventure for a while, I don't think.
Right.
But unless the kids get into Harry Potter.
Yeah, I mean, but then I'm like, if I'm going, then I want to see. I haven't been there. I want to see it.
Yeah.
Although we are not a Harry Potter family, it's like, but I recognize the detail and the immersiveness of it that I would
Yeah.
still like to see it and experience it. So if I'm going, then I'm seeing it. So I might
Right.
as well just go all in.
Yeah.
I'll have to
Just
figure
do a
that out.
2-day park hopper and hope you can squeeze in enough in the 2
Right.
days.
Right. Interesting.
Interesting. All right, before we go,
Mhm.
I have another ranking for you to do this
Oh
week,
no.
Jen. I have a pick 6.
A pick 6.
Now, last week I asked you to rank 6 Walt Disney World themed trains, forgetting the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train completely in that conversation.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks, Adam.
Thanks a lot, Adam. I like in my brain, I scrolled like the parks over and over, back and forth. I breezed right through
Yeah.
that area.
Yeah.
Breezed right through.
I was like, what about the people mover? Did we think of the mine train? No.
No. So over the weekend, Richard Sherman passed away, one half of the Sherman Brothers. I want you to rank these 6 theme park related Sherman Brothers tunes, theme park only, not Mary Poppins, not the Winnie the Pooh theme, not I Want to Be Like You, theme park centric Sherman Brothers songs.
Okay.
It's a Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow. One Little Spark. It's a Small World. The Tiki 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 Room. Stalling for time so Jen can figure this out. Now is the time. Now is the best time of your life, which is quote unquote the Dillo's Carousel of Progress song. Not Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow. It's a forever debate here on Theme Park Thursday with Dillo's Diz. And the last song could be a bit of a wild card here for Jen. I didn't put Magic Journeys in because I was like, do you really remember the Magic Journeys 3D movie? Not really. So the last one is Making Memories, taking pictures is making memories.
Oh man, this is harder than the trains.
Those 6 Sherman Brothers theme park Walt Disney World songs are now being ranked or placed in order by Jen here as we wrap up Theme Park Thursday. If you know the 6 in the chat and want to rattle off yours, please do. One Little Spark, Making Memories, Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow, It's a Small World, Best Time of Your Life, and the Tiki 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 Room.
Still working. Oh man, I don't want to. What am I up to? Let's see here. I don't know.
How's it going?
It's not going well. All right, I did it. I'm gonna second guess these. I'll listen back and go, what did I say? I didn't mean to say that.
This is not theme park related, but my favorite part of Iron Man 2, which I don't know if you've seen or not. I know you've seen Iron Man 1 as one of the Marvel movies. I don't know about the second one.
I don't think I've seen
But
that.
at the beginning, they're having the Stark Expo, which is on the grounds at Flushing Meadows. Technically,
Right.
they recreated a whole World's Fair-like thing with the Stark Expo. And Favreau got the Sherman Brothers to pen a theme song for that, which is Make Way for... Make Way for Tomorrow, I think is the name of it. So,
all right.
One of my favorite parts right there.
That reminds me, you still need to set up time with Papa Dillo to go over there. He agreed to
Oh yeah,
that content. You gotta take advantage of that.
I know. What I
And
got to wear a
maybe,
microphone?
maybe yeah, and maybe, summertime might be good because
Mhm.
we'll be over there. So,
That's true.
easy transition. All
Hmm.
the camera equipment will be there.
Yeah. And you got all, and you get him to set up his slide projector and 8mm camera this summer while you're there, and
Oh,
just
all right.
oh
That's
yeah,
fine.
lots of content.
So much content. I have so much work to do while I'm there all summer.
Jen, are you ready?
I
Are you
guess.
gonna go bottom to top?
I guess.
All right,
I
number
guess.
6.
I'm seeing what I even scribbled here. Number 6, I made. Hold on. Sorry. What? Is this 2? Hold on. What did I do? Okay.
Her
All right.
handwriting is so
I
bad,
can't, I
everyone.
can't. I just scribbled the numbers because I'm too angry at making this list. All right. Number 6, I put making memories, even though I love it. I know. And it's very nostalgic. And this is what I'm talking about. Later on, I'm going to say I don't want any of my rankings anymore. That's number 6. So number 5, I did there's a great big beautiful tomorrow.
Okay.
I made
Oh,
that number 5.
okay.
Number 4, I made the tiki room.
This is I really thought Tiki Room was gonna be 6, so that's where I'm a little stunned into silence right now
Mhm.
that the Tiki Room was not one of your first 2 picks here.
Here's why. The tiki room is super catchy. It just
Mhm,
stays in your head.
mhm,
And how if someone says the tiki room, I have to sing the tiki room. What's the tiki room? In the tiki. I
mm,
can't not like sing it.
right.
So if we're talking songs and catchiness and all, I mean, how do you not rank that higher? I guess I don't know. I'll
Mhm,
second guess it later. For number 3,
mm, mm.
the 3, 2, 1 is tough.
2, 3.
A 1, a 1, 5. Number 3, I did Small World. I think. Number 2, I did Now is the best time of your life. The
Mhm.
nostalgia of it all.
Yes.
Making number 1, One Little Spark.
Oh, all right.
I didn't appreciate having to do this. I'm not happy about it. Yeah,
Back-to-back weeks ranking
no.
6 Walt Disney World things.
I'll second guess
We
that.
we posted a video of Jen's ranking of trains, Walt Disney World trains, over
Yeah.
on our YouTube channel last week. So make sure you check that out as well. Maybe we'll do the same here for the 6 Sherman Brothers Walt Disney World. Well, I guess Disney parks
Mhm.
uh, jingles, as it were.
Things that will haunt me the rest of the day. Nate saying that all of them are my imaginary friends and these rankings. So everything, that's where my day is going.
Yeah, I mean, when we did the trains last week, I felt like we had similar rankings. I would put
Mhm.
Tiki Room as 6. I get what you're saying, and I get the classicness of it as well. But I would probably go a great big. So I go Tiki Room 6, Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow 5, Best Time of Your Life. No, Making Memories 4, Best
Mhm.
Time of Your Life 3, Small World 2, One Little Spark 1. But I agree that 1, 2, and 3 can be
Yeah.
interchanged a lot.
And you basically you swapped Tiki Room and Making Memories for
That's all I did?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and then I mean, and the 1, 2, 3 is a little different, but it's
All
too
right. Well,
difficult.
we'll see what pick 6 I come up with next week for
Oh,
Jen.
great.
All right.
I'm so excited. Um, before we go too, I want to set the reminder that there will be post-credit chat
Yes.
with the kids.
For the kids on the audio feed, because folks are watching here at dillosdizresort.com. On the audio feed, we will have a little extra from the kids. We do have Dillo's Madness coming up, which I haven't said out loud to Jen yet. So I'm hoping we have to record a podcast soon, and then we have to do a little Dillo's Madness second round, I believe. So that should be coming up imminently
Mhm.
within the
Mhm.
next few days, most likely.
Yeah.
And that will wrap things up here on the Theme Park Thursday podcast for this week. If you're at the DillosDizResort.com, thanks for hanging out with us the past hour or so. And make sure to check us out on all the things. If you're listening to the audio, on the TikToks and the Facebooks and the Instas. And the Instas and the Facebooks I've been trying to slowly give a little more love to lately. And over on our YouTube channel. Where are we in the partner process? Have you, because there's things that pop up on like I post a YouTube short now, and it says I can do things.
We can do the super thanks and the memberships and all the things.
Okay, we can do the memberships.
I think
because
so.
you get official word that you can do that. Did you get a
document? Yeah,
you did. So you can do the supers, and the memberships,
the stickers.
Yeah.
We have to look into it. We are completely clueless. I'm not gonna lie.
I need a good YouTube recommendation out there in podcast land. If someone who really like paints the right picture of how to be a YouTube partner, like I need like that the how to.
I'm sure that exists.
A trustworthy video for that.
Yeah.
So hit us up on the socials if you know.
Yeah.
Until next time, she's Jen and I'm Frank. Bye-bye.
Deuces. The Dillo's Diz podcast is hosted by Frank Cardillo and Jen Cardillo Snyder. Music produced by Matt Harvey. Logos and video production courtesy of Snidillo Studios. Dillo's Diz Resort is our Patreon with tiers starting as low as $1 per month. You can visit DillosDizResort.com to learn more. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, X Twitter, and Facebook at Dillo's Diz. Check us out on YouTube by visiting youtube.com/DillosDiz. Don't forget to like and subscribe while you're there. We also have merch available on TeePublic and Etsy. For all this and more, visit our one-stop shop, DillosDiz.com. Dillo's Diz Podcast 2024. Eight-year-olds, you have done some research about Universal, and the 7 and 9-year-olds have some questions.
Hey, what's up?
Hi, 8-year-olds. What do you want to do in Universal? Mostly Harry Potter stuff, because I love Harry Potter. It's so cool. 8-year-old, what's so good about it? Well, there's a lot of adventure and like magic, some death, you know, the fun stuff. 8-year-old, what rides are there? I think there's this Hagrid motorcycle adventure thing. Cool. And there's also like Escape from Hogwarts. And you get to go in the night bus, which is in book 3. Cool.
8-year-old, do you know what hotel you're staying at?
No, I don't think so.
Which Harry Potter book is your favorite?
That's easy. The 4th.
Why?
The 4th has the Triwizard Tournament.
Oh.
And that's my favorite, like, event.
Oh, I love that.
42-year-old, you're not allowed to say, you're not allowed to, you're not allowed, 42-year-old, you're not allowed to ask questions. That's Jen Snyder. Yeah,
okay.
That's Jen Snyder. So
the only thing you should be doing right now is this.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'll catch a bubble.
Thanks. Catch a bubble.
Yeah, let's talk about Jalen Hurts.
I hate Jalen Hurts.
How dare you!
We're not supposed to be talking about sports, guys.
That's true.
Yeah, we're talking about the 8-year-old.
And her upcoming trip.
Yeah, go ahead. This is the first time I've been to Florida without going to Disney World.
How do you feel about that?
Well, actually not really my first time because I've been to the beach. But like doing like kind of like
onto the beach
rides.
Mm-hmm.
You should go to like you should like say you could have went to Disney World and then like do both the things.
Mm-hmm.
But we didn't get tickets for that.
Yeah.
So we can't do it.
But luckily,
there
is a trip around the corner.
Well, so folks, we're going to have a trip to Disney
Here's
in August, so we could do
Disney cruise.
Cruise, and we also have to. We're also going. We're the cousin crew, and the cousin crew is the 7-year-old, the 8-year-old, and the 9-year-old. Boom. And that's basically from 42-year-olds.
Here's trivia.
Jen Snyder, a.k.a. Jen Snyder. Yeah, I repeat, Jen Snyder. Yeah, I repeat, a.k.a. Jen Snyder.
Here's some trivia questions about cruise ships. Which is the most expensivest cruise ship you can be on?
I know. Wish.
What?
No.
Good guess.
I know.
I know.
So it's just the one where there's like your own bedroom and a little door to go through. That one? Isn't that the Fantasy?
No,
that's the one where you climb up and.
Is it the Royal Caribbean?
Royal Caribbean? Caribbean?
It's a Caribbean.
I think.
That is.
We're getting off track here.
Okay, he's talking about Icon of the Seas,
I think
right?
like each one it's like $1,000 per person.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Why did I put pepper on this?
Okay. So wait, I don't think I got an answer to my first question. How do we feel about doing a Universal only trip?
Really good.
Yeah, because it's gonna be awesome with Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Like, it's gonna be amazing.
And you can even take the Hogwarts Express
What?
from Diagon Alley to Hogsmeade. I'm 42-year-old. I said you're not allowed. You're not allowed to talk during this.
Oh, sorry. I keep thinking of questions. You guys got
Just tell them to us, okay? We're just asking.
I'm a professional podcaster. You know, you gotta keep up. Do we have more questions for each other? Do you want to ask each other questions about the cruise?
So, I just have to say something. We have to switch gears to Disney Cruise and Disney.
Okay.
So, switch gears now. Usually, when we go on Disney cruises, 2 days of Disney World. Then go on the cruise, have some fun. Then go to Disney's private island. And so now we're gonna talk about Disney and Universal. You mean Disney the 8-year-old trip. No, that's going with Frank Cardillo. No, we did that on the first time. Now we have to do it on the second time. The Disney.
And we have 8-year-old. We are
7-year-old.
I don't care about that.
And we are the cousin crew.
Care about the 9-year-old.
Make sure you watched us on the video or the TV. Make sure to stay continued. Bye. Not yet. I know. I'm just kidding about that.
Deuces, slay girl.
Has anyone done research on the boardwalk?
Pepper. A little bit.
A little?
Oh, could I tell you what I was looking at?
Yeah.
So I was looking at like the Disney magazine and highlighting stuff I want to see and like do. And one of the most things is Dua Lipa and Mickey Bar. Are you gonna have that on the Disney cruise?
Obviously.
I know what I did some research on the boardwalk also.
You did?
You walk on a board.
Yeah, you walk on a board. That's what you do. You walk on a board, okay? Friends, you have to walk on board, okay?
So, did you actually read about the boardwalk at all?
Okay.
8-year-old, what did you read about the boardwalk?
Well, it's very expensive and it's it's kind of like in hotel, I think.
Yeah, it's in a hotel. Everyone knows that.
Yeah, you sleep on there's a boardwalk, and it's beautiful, and you have a good view, and that's all Daddy told me, a.k.a. Frank Cardillo.
Right.
And can I tell you something? You have to sleep on a board. I'm sorry, it is so uncomfy. You do not.
Actually, I normally sleep on rock.
You know, that would be rough to sleep on a board with, to the 8-year-old's point of it being so expensive. I don't want to pay to sleep on a board.
That might make it maybe 2 cents. If you're
that is so expensive.
Do
you know how much money it is to go to Disney World? It is 0 monies.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
it's not.
And guess what? If it was 2 cents of a hotel, the dinner will be crumbs.